Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. I am so excited to be here. It is technically already our second huddle, even though we're only on the 6th. We kicked off earlier this month, so we could hit the ground running in May. But I didn't want to skip a huddle on Thursday. So in lieu of our normal announcements and all of that fun stuff, I have asked my sweet friend Lauren that just went triple last month if she could hop on and just kind of pour into us tonight. She is freaking awesome. Like I said, she just took her team to triple last month. I know that that was ahead of her goal. So like her goal timeline, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to just let her tell her story. And I want you guys to, just like normal, interact in the chat, show her some love because she is taking time out of her Thursday to pour into us. So, Lauren, if you want to start with your story, I would love for you to tell everybody how long you've been with It Works, why you joined, all of that fun stuff, and a little bit about you.
All right. Hey guys, thank you for being on. My name is Lauren and I have been with It Works for almost 2 years now. Before I joined It Works, I was actually a customer for a couple of years and I loved the products. And I was a new mom. We just moved to a new town. I was a small business owner. I owned a bookkeeping business that I ran out of my house and I was just completely burnt out and I just needed something new. We're drowning in credit card debt. We just needed something. So I reached out to my friend who I was a customer with, and I just kind of asked her a couple questions, and I asked her, what she thought about it, and I decided to pray on it, and I told her I'd let her know the next day, and so the next day come around, and as silly as it sounds, you guys, like I asked God, please give me a sign for that this is something that I need to do, because I had thought about it and I just couldn't decide. And I had actually been like looking into like all the celebrity fad of celery juicing. And I was like interested in trying it, but I hate celery, but I know how good it is for you. The next day after I told her I was going to pray on it, the next day they released just celery. And I was like, there you go. There's my sign. And so I text her and I immediately signed up. And I worked just enough to get my shopping spree. And I didn't work anymore. And I didn't work for 5 months. And it took me 5 months to go executive. And like I said, I was just burned out. I just had too much on my plate. I had every excuse under the sun, and I just didn't do it. And I finally, January of last year, made up my mind that I was going to go to a conference and I was going to go as Ruby. And so I hit Ruby a couple of days before we left for Florida. Was that last year? Whenever the last in-person conference was. And I went to conference and it completely changed my life. I cried the whole time. I was just so overwhelmed listening to all the stories, just everything. And I came home from conference and I worked my butt off. And by April, I was diamond. And by May, I took my boyfriend's account to diamond. And by August, I was double. And then, like Jamie said, just last month, I took my team to triple.
You guys, let's just talk about the fact that she went triple in less than 2 years. Like that in and of itself is freaking incredible. Let's also talk about the fact that she worked just enough to get started and then put it down and was like, I don't know. And it took 5 months to go executive. Have you ever gone into some, I mean, how many people do we have on this team, on this call even, that have picked it up, started running, and then set it down only to come back later? Your timeline means absolutely nothing. And I've got my last question for you. I almost want to ask it right now because I feel like it would be perfect timing. But as a new distributor, just because you sign up to do something and you have that like 1 second of courage doesn't mean that you have courage like for life, right? Or as a business owner. And so as we've been pushing for new distributors this month and all of that stuff, and we're having so many distributor conversations, know that like we have courage in this business because we've been in it for a little while. But some people, it takes a little bit. And just because they press the submit button or they pick it up for a few weeks and then put it down, like, don't give up on them, because Alyssa's your enroller, right?
Yes.
Alyssa had Alyssa given up on Lauren because she set it down or didn't try as hard or whatever after she got her shopping spree, she wouldn't have a brand new VIP on her team. So I think that that's really special just to share as a part of your story. I didn't actually know that, so I love that so much. Thank you for sharing that. Something else that I wanted you to kind of talk about, because we're having lots of potential distributor conversations right now with the $39 kits going on. Everybody is trying to sign distributors. We want to start the month off strong, and we want to grow our teams early on in the month. So can you talk a little bit about what fears you had when you first got started and how you overcame them?
Yeah. So when I first got started, I absolutely had zero confidence in myself. Um, Another fun fact that a lot of people don't know, I was actually with another network marketing company before this one, and I was not successful. And there was a number of reasons why I wasn't successful, but mainly because I didn't have the support system that we do in this company, and because I just was not passionate about the products. So I was really not confident in myself because I thought, well, everybody's going to see me starting this new business and I failed at the last time and nobody's going to have the confidence in me. I don't have the confidence in myself. How would I even grow a team? Who's going to trust me to lead them when I can't be successful with like past endeavors? So that was really hard for me to get over. And 110% personal development has completely just changed everything. So a couple of different books that I like, my bookshelf is completely filled with them, but um, Atomic Habits is one that I really love. Stephen Furtick is a author that I love. Um, Gosh, I can't even think of all of them. The Success Commandments. Just reading so many different um, personal development books have helped me so much. And when I first started, again, in those first 5 months, I did not do any type of personal development. I didn't need it. I didn't think so. I was better than that. I had no idea. And now, like, I read books all the time. I've got them like stacked right here. Like, it's, I like, you have to, personal development is a super, super important um, part of this business. And whether you think that you need it or not, just do it. Read books, listen to webinars, listen or podcasts, listen to, just do it. Just spend some time out of your day each day listening, bettering yourself, just working on yourself, and then all the rest is going to come to you. It just by default, it all just happens naturally.
I love that. Drop a 1 in the chat if you are currently doing self-development. And then right after that, drop a 2 in the chat if you never thought about self-development before you started this business. Because I will tell you, I am a person that is, I used to joke and say like I'm a lifelong learner, and I was always like teaching myself something or trying to pick up a new something, but working on myself was never something that I did until until I got into this business. And quite honestly, for the first year in my business, I didn't really do it. It was one of those things that I looked at and I was like, it's not income producing. Like, I can be getting haps up, I can be messaging people, I can be doing all these other things that are going to get me more customers and bigger team and all that stuff. And I discounted it, y'all. And it is so, so important. if you are working on something right now, or I mean, if you're reading something, or if you have a podcast or anything like that that you're absolutely loving, I would love for y'all to share that in the chat, because we do have a bunch of new distributors on here that I'm sure would love to hear what we're reading and what we're whatever. For me personally, I'm reading The Miracle Morning, because I am the opposite of anything but a miracle in the morning. Okay. I am a night owl. If you know me, you know that that is 1,000% true. And I've just heard I've just heard forever and ever that getting up early is where it's at, and you feel so much more productive in your day and blah blah blah. But like, I just don't know that I have it in me. And so I'm reading this book, and I'm like slowly convincing myself that maybe that is the ticket. And also, side note, like, I've got kids that are about to be at home this summer all day, every day with me in the house that I work my business in. How am I going to prioritize that when they want to do crafts and go swimming and all that stuff? So I'm going to have to come up with some sort of schedule. And it's more and more, it's looking like I'm going to be up an hour or 2 hours before they get up, which is 8 or 8:30 in the morning when they're sleeping in, right? And so I'm like, I'm gonna have to stay used to getting up like on a school schedule. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. And then of course I have podcasts that I just love. I can drop them in the chat because I don't want to take up time talking about me. But if you have something that you're loving, then drop it in the chat, because if it's hitting you, it may hit somebody else. So please share if you have something.
So two things real quick.
Mm,
I absolutely believe that waking up early is where it's at, because whenever I'm waking up early, I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning and I work until my son wakes up at usually about 9, and I get so much done. But the enrollments have been coming and coming and coming since I've been waking up so early. I go to bed at like 9:30, like a grandma, but I wake up early and I get so much done, and then I don't feel so stressed throughout my day. But another thing, I was listening to a video this morning, and she was talking about um, personal development and taking care of yourself, and how you were saying that you felt like it wasn't like income producing, so you weren't prioritizing it. But what she was saying, and it really does make sense, because if you're not taking time for yourself, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're going to be stressed out whenever you get a message from an upset customer, and it's going to ruin your whole day. You're going to be upset when your kid is fussy, and it's going to ruin your whole day. And then it's going to ruin how you interact with your distributors. It's going to ruin how you interact with your customers, how you work your business that day. Your temper is going to be short. You're going to be irritable. So if you're working on yourself and you're bettering yourself, then naturally everything else is going to get better too. So in a way, it is income producing. I completely 100% believe that it is. And I think it's one of the most important things that you can do for your business.
absolutely. I totally agree. And I know that y'all will probably be so sick of me and every leader ever telling you that you have to develop yourself. But network marketing is a self-development plan with a compensation plan attached to it. Like, the higher you develop yourself, the more money you're going to make. And it was really ignorant, for lack of a better word, of me for saying that or thinking that, because I just didn't know better. I assumed that I could take care of all the things, but if I am not, you can't pour from an empty cup. So I love all of that. So let's talk about this latest promotion. I want to dive into that. So when did you decide? How did it go? Just kind of jump into the road to triple, if you will. If you want to start with what worked for you, and like, when did you know? How did you decide?
Yeah. So I hit double in August, and then I lost it. I didn't maintain. And I kept saying, I'm going to get back to double. And by December, I'm going to be triple. That was my goal, because I knew for sure that January, I was going to be going to conference as a VIP. And I said, I will not go back to conference unless I'm VIP. And I didn't hit it. And I was devastated. And I didn't go to conference. And I worked and I worked and I worked, and it just seemed like we just kept getting further and further away. And then by February, I got double back. And then I had text Alyssa, my sponsor, and I told her by May is my goal. Triple is going to be my goal for May. And uh, I hit, like, I don't know, it was like 32,000 in volume or something like that in March. And she was like, okay, your new goal is April. You're going to be triple by April. And I was like, okay. So I kept getting up every morning at 5. I was making sure I was getting my host post up. I was reaching out to people that had been interested. I was following up. I was also, like, one of the things that I think was most important and most helpful was being so stinking loud about our goal that it kind of manifested itself. So I started getting messages from people I had never even talked to saying that they wanted to order. I started getting messages from people who were, you know, completely against MLMs, didn't want to order, that said they wanted to order. I was getting like God-sized volume orders, not just like a TFX order here and there. It was like 100 and something BB, 80 something BB every time. It was just, it was amazing. It's amazing how it manifests itself when you're so, like, I was putting up my felt board every day, every other day. I was saying how many orders I had left to reach my goal. I was like in everybody's face about it, and we were just so stinking loud about it. My team got on board, and it was really incredible to watch it. And it definitely happened sooner than I thought.
No, that's so cool. Yeah, when you told me that you had originally said May and then Alyssa told you April because y'all were already so close, I was like, man, that's so awesome, because a lot of times we just feel so far from our goals and you feel
Yeah.
like your work isn't getting you anywhere. So for you to walk into it thinking, oh, I can actually do this ahead of schedule, that happens. I love that. I love that that happens. I also, I was going to stop you if you said like, oh, this one thing worked so well for me, but you didn't. You said, I messaged every day. I followed up every day. My existing customers, I reached out to them every day. I did host to post every day. You guys, the road to VIP is paved every single day, showing up for your business, doing the core things. Lauren just posts. She messages, she follows up, and she does host to post. That's it. And so for me, that was an aha moment, just that you just have to show up every day with intention and get your things done, and you can make an incredible income. The last thing that I said was, or that you said that I really liked, was get loud about your goal. Your goal was obviously rank related, right? Like, and you took your boyfriend's account to double as well, right?
Yeah.
That is insane. Who wants a triple and a double income coming into their household? Drop a 4 if you want that, because I'm gonna go ahead and drop that real quick because I definitely, that's amazing. And she got bonuses with both of those.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a $25,000 triple bonus and a $20,000 double bonus. That
Yes.
is insanity on top of y'all's average, on top of the income. Insert income disclosure there since we mentioned dollars, but that is really freaking incredible. What are you going to do with all of that? That's awesome.
Well, we're going to pay off debt, and
So
we
smart.
also bought some land that we're going to start getting ready so that we can build our dream house on it.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Hard work pays off for sure.
Yes.
So okay, so I want to go back to getting loud about your journey, because we have lots of I've got a push to Ruby group. I think that you're in there. You've got some girls in there
Mhm.
also. I know today we had them post about, if you're not in that group, don't worry, I'm going to catch everybody up to speed. But today we had them post about their goal for this month, which is obviously to go Ruby, to make an extra $200 to $500 a month. And I want you to kind of talk to them, that specific group, about what it looks like to get loud about that journey. And then on the flip side, maybe talk to those of us, myself included, that don't have a rank attached to my goal for this month. How do I get loud about that journey? And what does that look like? Because there are only 9 promotion months in this business for us, because there's only 9 ranks. So you don't want to be quiet during the other months. So I would love to hear for you personally what that looks like. How do you get loud when you're pushing?
Yeah, so a lot of my months don't look at that. They don't have a rank promotion attached to them for myself. So I just get really loud about what I want for my team, like what their promotions are going to do for their families and how that's going to help them. If you're pushing for Ruby right now, you need 44, we'll say 45. You need 45 pick two orders to hit the volume that you need. So between 4 of you, you need 11 orders a month. Like this month to hit it. If you break it down like that, I break down all of my goals like super small and super manageable, because I just get super overwhelmed if I look at it like I need 2,000. So you need 11 pick two cut orders, and people are going to order more than that. So it could be less orders than that. But if you, I mean, you don't even have to have a felt board. Get a piece of paper, put a number on it, make your posts, like just be really loud about what your goal is. If you need 10 customers, put on there that you need 10 customers. If you need if you're going for emerald, whatever you're going for, just divide it by 45, because we have the pick two. That's what the BB is on a pick two, and see how many orders you need to hit your goal. It's very, very important. And I'm sure Jamie preaches this to you guys, but it's very important to know your numbers at the very beginning of the month, so that you know what you're pushing for. If you don't know what you're pushing for, if you just know that you're pushing for Ruby, but you don't know what you need to get there, you're never going to get there. So know your numbers, know what you need, and be just really loud on social media about it. Reach out to people, tell them what it's going to do for you and your family. If you don't have a rank goal this month or any month, then just be loud about, if you're trying to help one of your girls, one of your people on your team promote to Ruby. Hey, I'm so close to, we're working on getting this goal for my one of the girls on my teams. It's going to help her to stay home with her babies. It's going to help her to pay a car payment so she can get a second family car. It's going to help them buy groceries, whatever it's going to do. Just be loud about that. If it's just to pay off debt, if it's to go and get your nails done, whatever it is, people want to be able to relate to you, and people can't, not everybody can just relate to buying a big fancy house or doing this or doing that. So, just have whatever goal it is, just be super, super loud about it, because people do want to help. People want to be a part of something good and positive. So if you're just being loud about whatever it is, whether it's for yourself or whether it's for your team, people want to be a part of that. And like I said, it'll start manifesting itself once you're putting it out there in the universe so much.
Yes, yes, I love that. I love it. And I love that you use the words manifesting itself. And when you put it out into the universe, I've been preaching The Secret to my team,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
it's so good. So if you haven't watched The Secret, it's on Netflix. It's a terrible movie, but the content is excellent.
Yes.
So watch that. But I love that so much. And you're right, it doesn't have to be about a rank. It can be about helping somebody. And you talked about it being a journey. And so just take people through the journey. Take people through the journey of you hitting your first 30 customer month. Take people through the journey of you getting your shopping spree if you're brand new, or promoting to Ruby, or whatever it is for that month. Just talk about it. Talk about it in your stories and your post and your message. When you ask for a host to post, this is going to help me promote to Ruby. Thank you so much. XYZ, right? So that is so good. So I want you to share a tip that you have. What is your one tip that you have for making the most of boom season? Because if you're a vet, or if you've been on any huddles, this season is the season that our business explodes, right? Every season, for any business, regardless, has seasons, right? There's highs and lows, and sales go up and down and all that stuff. We're in a high season right now. And so if you're just joining, now is the time to jump in like full force and just go for it, because this is our high season. So what is your best tip for taking advantage of the boom season that we have right here and right now?
Oh gosh, I don't think I could have one tip, but if you're new and you're just starting and this is your first boom season, ignorance on fire. Just go. Just run with it. Like, don't stop. You don't have to know everything to get started. You're going to learn it as you go. This business is super repetitive. It's very easy, but you have to be willing to do the work. And if your why is not big enough, then you're not going to be motivated enough every day to do the work. And you're not going to be motivated every day to do the work. You're going to have to borrow that motivation from someone else, but you're going to just have to do the work every day and just ask. I think is it Cami Pentecost that always says it's not our job to worry about what people will say, yes or no. It's not our job to worry about if they order or not, or if they join or not. It's our job to share the information, what we have our hands on with them. And then that's it. Then you've done your job. So you need to just be talking to as many people as possible. Host posts like your life depends on it. Literally, probably like 98% of my customers and distributors every month come from host posts. So if you're not doing host posts, if you haven't mastered that, if you're not utilizing that every single day, it's working and you're doing yourself a huge disservice. So you have got to just jump in, just run, just do all the things, ask all the questions, and just don't stop until you get to where you want to be.
Oh, love, love, love. So much gold, you guys. I couldn't have said it better. I mean, just do all the things and get your butt to work and take advantage of the season that we're in. Don't sleep on it. If you're a vet, you know better. And if you are brand new, you don't know better. So let's just go, right? Like, and host to post is where is where it's at. And I think it was Cami that says that. And another quote that came to mind was open mouths get fed, or maybe it's closed mouths don't get fed. So if you're not asking, then you're not getting yeses or nos, for that matter. If you're too afraid to get a no from somebody because you're asking the question, then you're definitely not going to get any yeses. So
I promise you, it gets a lot easier to hear no. The more you
yeah,
do it, the more no's you hear, the more yeses you're going to hear, and they're going to hurt a lot less the more you go. But just don't be scared to ask. Just ask. Talk to people. I mean, the worst they can say is no. So just keep asking
exactly.
and keep asking.
Exactly. All right. So what is the one thing that we're going to try and wrap this up here in the next 10 or so minutes, you guys. I appreciate you being on, Lauren, since you are not a night person. It's almost your bedtime. But what
It's
is
my bedtime.
yeah, it's time to brush teeth. I got to go to bed. We got to do like beauty routine and brush teeth. And I'm like, okay, team, after this, we're going to be on Zoom working because we're night people. But what is the one thing that you would have wished you would have figured out sooner? Or like when you were first starting, what is one piece of advice that you can give our new distributors? Because I'm so excited. We have we have a good amount of new distributors on here. So what's the one thing that you can tell them that you would have figured out, like you wish you would have figured it out sooner?
Stay plugged in. Stay plugged in. Stay close to the fire. Like I said, you're not going to be motivated every day. And if you lose that momentum and that motivation, it's really hard to get back on your own. So if you're staying plugged in and you're staying on these Zooms, um, you're gonna, what is it? Fire breeds fire or something like
That's
that.
exactly right. Yes.
So you're gonna get excited, you're gonna catch the vision, it just does so many things. It helps with the personal development, it helps with the accountability, it helps with the motivation. It does so many things. And that was one thing that I never did. I never got on Zooms. I never participated in anything because I didn't feel that I needed it, and I didn't have that connection and that community in the beginning because I didn't think that I needed it. And I think that's why it took me so long to actually get started and be successful in this, is because I didn't stay close to the fire and I didn't stay connected to my sponsor or my team, or I just was uh, being very selfish.
No, I don't think that I honestly I give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that people intentionally don't plug in. I think that it's the easy thing to do. Like you just don't think if the or if there's when I put the schedule out and there's something 4 out of 5 nights of the week, you don't have to plug into all of those. But goodness, if you are excited about your business and you're wanting to make moves, why wouldn't you? Show up for yourself for an hour. I have been in this business almost 4 years. Lauren's been almost 2. And I can promise you that if either of our teams put on something, whether it's a huddle or a spirit week or a corporate training or a conference, we are going to be there. Because even though I've probably heard all the tips or Lauren's heard all the tips, maybe you hear it in a different way that it clicks differently for you. And so it's so important to get on and you form friendships with people. Like Lauren and I are sideline sisters. She's not on our team, but we just met through the business and now we talk daily, and we talked all last month while she was promoting and just giving tips on how to get existing customer orders in, or how are you messaging for this, and all of that stuff. You form that community, and then it makes it a lot harder for you to walk away or for you to not pick up your phone that day to show up for yourself or for your business, because there's going to be days that you don't feel motivated, that you don't feel inspired, that you woke up and a customer had a complaint before your feet even hit the floor, right? So you're going to have those days. But if you've got sideline sisters, and if you've got a chat that's lit up when we talk to y'all in the chats, it fuels my fire when y'all talk back to me. It fuels your leaders and your sideline sisters fires when they know that you're showing up too, and that you're brand new and they're brand new, and y'all are going to do it together, right? Like y'all are going to both get your shopping sprees. So I love that advice so much. It's so important to stay plugged in. I'm so blue that was never an issue for me, but I see it happens so many times. People don't prioritize the huddles, and I get if you can't be on every single one, but try your best to plug in. They're fun. We try and make them fun anyways, and at least encouraging. So what is next? Tell us what's next for you and your team. I know we talked about it the other day. I'm so excited, but tell everybody what is next for you and your team and what's going to happen later this summer.
So this month, my goal does not have a rank attached to it, a promotion attached to it. My goal is to help 3 of my girls go Ruby and 1 girl go Emerald. So I'm helping just some different spots in the chart, just helping them get off to a good start. And so that's my goal this month. And then we are going to start pushing for presidential. And again, I had a goal set for December. And again, Alyssa told me, nope, your goal is August. So
Yes.
we're gonna push for Prez by August. And I am so excited.
I'm so excited for you. We're going to be pushing for Prez right alongside you. I'm so pumped. You guys, I know we've talked, we're only on day 6 of May, but I feel like we've talked about goals for this month 10 times. I want y'all to put whatever your goal is in the chat right now. Just say it out loud or type it out loud. I guess you don't say it out loud, you type it. But what is your goal? Yeah, I know yours was, Jamie. Jamie's goal was double by June, and she done been validated and all that fun stuff.
Oh,
On
fun.
to triple.
Congratulations.
On to triple, Miss Honey Dip. Let's do it. um 5 new DTs, 400 club. Oh, I love that, Millicent.
Yeah.
Yes, Sherry Ruby. Of course. 1 DT and 6 LCs. Love it. Re-rank, love that, Sabrina. 20K in volume and 6 DTs, Jamie. You guys, I love all of them. Fast starts for
Yes.
all of your newbies. Yes, ma'am. 40 LCs, re-rank by the 25th. Oh my gosh, these are such good goals, you guys.
Oh,
And
I love when people hit goals by the 25th, because then the rest of the month is like, all right, this is how many more days I have to on next month.
yes, or this is how I've got 5 days head start on next month, or
Mhm.
who can I look at in my team and help them reach their goals for the next 5 days? I hit
Yeah.
my goal. What can I do to help you hit yours? The cool thing about this business is you join this business for yourself. We are in business for ourselves. We are independent distributors, but you will never ever be alone. The
No.
community that we have here is so insane. 4 more DTs, 35 LCs, love, and a
If
re-rank.
you guys don't
Um,
have, like, I don't know how you teach or whatever, but one thing that works really well for me is just keeping a folder of like all of my stuff, staying really organized, knowing all of my numbers. So I would highly encourage everybody, if you don't have your charts printed out, to go ahead and print those out. And if you're close to hitting your goal, then print out the next chart and start working towards that, because it's gonna, if you're always just constantly trying to maintain, then you're just gonna keep spinning your wheels. So always try to be pushing for the next level, and the maintenance will take care of itself.
oh, so good. All right. I don't have any other questions. Do y'all have any questions? You can put them in the chat, or it's a small enough group we could probably unmute. So this week you should always have a chart with an empty box. Yes. If anybody has a question, I think maybe we have time for a couple of questions. If not, Lauren, do you have anything else you want to add? I appreciate you hopping on and just chatting with us. This was so good.
Well,
I
thank you for
appreciate y'all.
having me.
Of
It was
course.
my pleasure.
Of course. Does
And
any
I am so excited to see you next week.
I know, me too. Lauren's going to the ranch with me, you guys. Ah, I'm so excited. Pumped. Um, oh, did you explain to your team their part in your promotion?
I did not, until my good friend Jamie told me how important that was. And I thought I felt a little uncomfortable doing it, because I didn't want people to feel like I was forcing them to do something for me. But um we just I kind of talked to people individually instead of calling people out like in the middle of like a group chat. And I was just like, hey, like this is my goal, and I can't want it more than you do, but for yourself, but I this is what I need from you to, for me to hit this goal, for us to become a VIP team. It's going to help you, it's going to help me, it's going to help the team, it's going to help everybody. But yeah, I had that hard conversation after Jamie told me to, but um I don't think it was so bad. Like I said, I just didn't want to force feed it to people if they didn't want it. So I was just uncomfortable in the beginning.
Yeah, that is a hard conversation to have. And as your teams grow and as you become dependent on people in your team pushing for their promotions, then that is a conversation. But everybody's paychecks grows. Like, and that's the cool thing. It wasn't Lauren that just promoted, it was everybody underneath her paycheck grew also. So I love that.
Mhm.
Most of the time they want to know how to help and how they can contribute. Absolutely. Yep. It's the yellows.
Um,
Yes. Any
so
other questions?
I
Oh,
I
okay.
don't usually, I see that, do I use a KPI or 6 list or core 4? Um, I don't really have a set list of things that I do. I I first and foremost do host to post every day, because if nothing else, I can feel accomplished by getting all of my host to posts up, because by default, everything else is kind of taken care of. So the next day, you're going to have follow ups of people you talked to that day. You're going to be naturally adding to your friends list. You're going to be connecting with new people about the business and about the products. You're going to be getting posts up. Like I said, you're going to have the next day for follow-ups. Like everything kind of just takes care of itself if you're doing host to post. So that's basically what I work off of. First thing in the morning, I'll check all my host to post, and then I'll do follow-ups, and then I'll send out new HAP requests. And I mean, it just kind of all falls in together.
I totally agree. I always lead with HAPs. It kicks everything else off. So I love that. Holly Ray, did you raise your hand? Do you have a question?
I did. So with HAP, sort of struggle a little bit with those. Like it's easy when there's a lot of comments on it, but then when you don't have a post to go off of to ask for HAPs, how do you stay organized and going back to the pool of people that'll host a post for you?
So so you can always go back to your past collections and ask them if they want to post again this month. You can always send out green light messages and ask people if they want to post for you, because it's going to help you work towards a promotion. It's going to help your family. It's going to help grow your network, X, Y, and Z, fill in the blank. So you can send out green light messages for that. Always continue to add to your network, no matter what, because the more people you're getting in your page, then obviously the more people you're going to be able to get to post for you. Make sure you're interacting on Facebook too. Say your happy birthdays every morning, interact on people's posts. That's going to boost your algorithm and get people seeing your posts more often. Those are just some different things that I do. I always also, especially this month, I'm sending out a ton of giveaway posts for people to make, because that gets a lot of people added to your friends list, and then you can turn around and I'll have those people post giveaway or product posts or opportunity posts. So I always lead with the giveaway post, and honestly, I've been doing a lot of those this month because I just need a whole new cycle of friends.
Yes.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. I thought that was really good too. I lead with, I get my first 2 or 3 up for the day are always my giveaway ones. That way, when I go back and check the other ones, if there's not many comments, I know that I'm already working on a new pool of people. So that's good. I love that.
I can't remember who was saying it, but on one of the Zooms that I watched, somebody was asking her, do you ever have a day that you don't get your 10 hosts to post up? And she was like, no, I don't. And they were like, well, how do you do that? And she said, I don't work off of the number of host to posts that I get up. I work off the number of comments that I get on my post. So instead of getting 10 posts up, I'm trying to get 25 comments. So if it takes me 25 posts to get up to get 25 comments, that's what I'm doing. So
that's good. That's good. I love that. It's like just framing it in a different way. Yes, I think you're right. Mariah.
Yes.
All right. Does anybody else have anything? If not, I'm going to ask Sabrina if she will say a quick prayer, and then we can hop off and get to work. All right, go ahead, Sabrina.
All right, bow your heads with me. Dear Lord, thank you for giving us a community of women who know the power of straightening someone else's crown. This business is wonderful in the fact that we all succeed when everyone does their part. Every piece to the puzzle matters in the bigger picture. Thank you so much for showing us that our piece matters, but we're not alone in that puzzle. We have this support system every day as we grow our business, as we grow our friendships, and as we grow in this world. Thank you for being that constant support, and thank you for bringing other women into our lives who feel that same passion and same experience every day. And please be with us as we're in this season, as we're growing, as we're expanding this network. Be on the hearts of those who are going to come in with this $39 and let them know that there's a place for them in this puzzle. Let them know that they are welcome, and we are so willing to show them and train them. Only you know what is to come, but we can't move that mountain if we don't put in the effort. So thank you so much for giving us that drive, giving us that ability to work hard every day, and pushing us to be a better version tomorrow than we were today. We can only do that in your name. It's in your precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, friend. You guys say thank you to Lauren in the chat. That was incredible. So good. And I will talk to everybody later. Good night. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you.